train! Now let's catch some criminals! To infinity and beyond!
45 seconds of Disney and Pixar basically 69ing each other.
I'm genuinely curious how the Birdman always has new things to say about these logo sins, because I'm not sure what else there is.
Boy, Andy's toy-based daydreams got a budget increase, no?
What's the problem here? The fact that the movie gives us a cinematic look at Andy's imagination? The first movie opened the same way, except that it was shown in the real world, so it makes sense they wouldn't want to completely copy-paste that.
Didn't Pixar miss a golden opportunity here to put the car-shaped bluffs from Cars in the background of the scene?
Hey, Easter eggs are sins apparently, remember? Even if the movie did do that, you'd complain.
Even if this is in some kid's imagination, Jessie and Bullseye were nowhere near the back of this train in order to save Woody. Take that, imagination.
You are actually questioning a child's imagination. That is just low, dude.
Also, all Toy Story movies must open with a fantasy sequence. The first one had Woody's Old West adventures, the second had the T-Rex playing the video game that was supposedly real for a few minutes, and this one has this. That's what you call a formula, kids.
Yes, because all these sequences have a purpose story-wise. In the first movie, it was meant to establish Andy's love for Woody, setting up the jealousy angle of that movie. In the second movie, the Buzz video game sequence sets up a few things that get paid off, like having a second Buzz with the utility belt or Rex finally defeating Zurg. Here, the purpose is to remind us what Andy was like playing with his toys to make the scene where it's revealed that he's all grown up all the sadder. And let's not pretend you don't have a formula either. You literally begin every single video with the same intro.
Andy imagines an ex machina for the train falling off the cliff, and later grows up to write Hollywood screenplays.
Okay, so I actually could buy this as a deus ex machina in any other context, but considering Andy is a literal kid, of course he'd do something like this. Have you never seen kids just make up random rules for their playtime with no previous establishment?
Even in the young Andy era depicted by this video, I still can't believe he's still enamored with his Woody doll. Woody was practically replaced in the first movie by Buzz Lightyear, but because of some bullshit, he suddenly gets equal billing in Andy's mind.
I feel as though I need to remind you of this scene from the end of the first movie.
Hey, wow!
What is it?
Woody! Buzz!
Oh, great, you found them. Where were they?
Here in the car!
See? Now, what'd I tell you? Right where you left them.
Clearly, that scene showed that Andy loves Woody and Buzz almost equally.
Wait! I can't find my other eye!
Then why did you take it out in the first place?
Maybe she didn't take it off. Maybe it fell out. You don't have enough context to ask this question.
Also, didn't previous movies show us your organs still work even when not attached? So why not just look through that eye to figure out where it is, right?
Also, she does try that a couple minutes later when she said someplace dark and dusty.
Who are we kidding? The kid's 17 years old.
He's 17 and still has a gigantic toy chest prominently featured in his room.
Hey, before I moved out, I still had a drawer set with Lego in it. This is completely normal.
Let's face it, when the trash bags come out, we Army guys are the first to go.
So many thoughts sprung up here. First off, the Army guys have a network of other Army guys where they know they're the first to go when it's time to clean out toys. Second off, there are only 3 Army guys here, so they've apparently left the hundreds of other Army guys to be trashed. Third off, they do this despite a decent chance of getting seen. Fourth, I guess they just knock around people's houses until they find a bunch of other Army guys to hang with.
I don't have much to say about those first 3 questions, but I will point this out with that last one. During the end credits of this movie, we see these army men arrive at Sunnyside Daycare after Lotso has thrown the trash. So this is you feigning ignorance.
We've lost friends along the way. Wheezy and Etch and Bo Peep.
I guess these toys weren't worth having an adventure for. Also, holy shit, movie hints at an even darker Toy Story 3 storyline regarding the fate of Bo Peep, but then it passes it by like it's no big deal.
Why would that have been dark? The movie simply implies that Bo Peep was sent to another owner and Woody misses her. And judging by where she ends up in the next movie, this statement has aged poorly.
Andy, who is an asshole, ate this apple and left it on a plate on his dresser.
That seems pretty normal to me. You are once again sinning realism.
That classic Toy Story decision, will Andy pick Buzz or Woody? And to my amazement, it's Woody.
Is the sin that Andy picks Woody instead of Buzz? If so, why do you think Buzz should have been picked? Clearly, Woody means more to him than Buzz, especially considering the ending of this movie when he is the most hesitant to give him the Bonnie out of all of his toys.
I can't breathe!
But you can breathe in the toy chest, I guess. And what happens if you can't breathe for too long? Do you finally become a real toy?
I'm not gonna add a sin here. I just wanted to point out that I said in the Toy Story 2 video that toys don't have lungs, and I admit that I completely forgot about this scene, so that doesn't quite hold up the way I hoped it would.
And this entire movie's events happen because this one American home has an exceptionally springy pull-down attic door. Do I have that right? Jesus. Andy clearly wanted to save all the toys, but thanks to construction work, we have an adventure to watch first.
So, would you have preferred this movie to be over in like 10 minutes?
What are the odds that the garbage truck is 3 f***ing houses away right at this moment? Astronomical, you say?
What are the odds that all the people that made this movie came back together to make this film in the first place? What are the odds that they came together to make that first movie? What are the odds that you guys came together to create CinemaSins? Do you see what I mean when I say coincidences don't matter?
Luckily, the guy picking up the garbage has both sunglasses and headphones on for maximum obliviousness.
Are you saying the sunglasses make him blind? Also, that doesn't matter, because Woody doesn't do anything that would make Sid hear him. This isn't like the Amazing Spider-Man Stan Lee cameo.
Buzz! Jesse!
And that should end this little adventure. This should have been a Pixar short that ended right here. Unfortunately, some total bullshit is about to happen to allow the rest of this movie to take place.
Well, I guess that confirms that he wants this movie to be super short. But more than that, what BS are you referring to? You pretty much just say this and expect us to believe you just because.
Yeah, I know, it looks bad, but guys, you gotta believe me.
They should, but they don't.
Because Andy called them junk earlier? Convenient that you didn't show that scene.
Molly and I have been growing apart for years. It's just... I can't believe she would throw me away!
Okay, I'm going to ignore the blatant sexism and having a Barbie doll meltdown like Sharon Stone in Casino and focus on the fact that it was clearly not Molly's preference to get rid of any toys, but her mom commanded it.
Yes, but Molly was given the choice as for what particular toys to give the sunny side, and Barbie didn't think that she'd choose her.
Come and pull. First thing you gotta know about me, I'm a hugger.
This is exactly what Uncle Henry said to me just before he took me out behind the, hey, is that a purple dinosaur?
Thanks for skipping this cringy bit for me.
Maybe Andy doesn't care about us anymore.
This movie gets so much mileage out of that upstairs hallway trash bag misunderstanding.
And also the fact that Andy called them junk earlier. Do I need to play that scene for you? Because I will.
Should we donate them to Sunnyside?
No.
Maybe sell them online?
Mom, no one's gonna want those old toys. They're junk.
Fine.
Bullseye, no, you need to stay.
After that big speech about leaving, Woody and Man's Bullseye.
Because he doesn't want Bullseye to be alone in the attic. Another bit of information that is in the movie, but you skipped over so the audience isn't aware of your dishonesty.
This wet floor sign says no running, which makes me think that there was a period, however brief, at the wet floor sign factory when the workers went on a passive strike, creating signs that said things like no running, stop, drop, and roll, and I'm on strike.
Are you saying this sign doesn't exist in real life? Because it does.
Woody ratatouilles his way out of this situation.
Jeremy makes a pop culture reference that isn't a sin in the movie cliche.
Yes, he's never been here before, but basic looking where you are going could have avoided this almost fall off the edge moment for Woody. Woody somehow assumes he has to cross this entire playground to escape, and never once considers just running to his left to the edge of the roof, which is clearly much closer to the wall. Stupid Woody.
These are two sins that question logical things for a flawed character. Although Woody isn't human, he does have human flaws, so of course he's not going to think everything through.
Luckily, Woody's hat is blown by the breeze straight into the kite ex machina that he will use to get off this roof.
Considering this kite doesn't even work the way Woody hoped it would, I don't think this term works in the slightest.
How many films can claim wind as an actual antagonist? Like this one and Twister, I guess, right? Oh, The Happening!
Oh, so you are aware that Woody's escape plan with the kite failed. But instead of deleting that previous sin, you instead make a couple pop culture references.
In the end, though, is this any different from what Andy did to these toys when he was filming the train robbery sequence in his head? He put those toys through hell, right? But this is supposed to be worse?
Well, Andy didn't put them in his mouth, chew on them, or do things toddlers do, so yes, this is worse.
Also, I'll admit this toddler stampede is hilarious, but the fact that none of these world-wise toys who lived with a toddler for years picked up on the fact that daycare might not be so awesome.
They didn't know the toddlers would be playing with them, and the movie even tells you that there's another room with older kids that play with them the way they remember it. And I'll remind you that Lotso intentionally put these toys in the caterpillar room just to suffer, since he thinks all toys have to suffer after what he's been through.
You're doing great.
Are you classically trained?
Is there a situation where one of these toys broke character? Even in the first movie, Buzz, as deluded as he was, didn't break character, and Woody only did it in an emergency to that evil kid Sid, who's a serial killer now.
You misspelled Sid. Also, Sid did not become a serial killer. Remember that garbage guy that you pointed out that had the sunglasses and headphones? Look at the shirt that he's wearing. And look at the voice actor they got to play him. Do I have to spell it out more, or do you get the point already?
I see Andy.
What?
That's impossible.
My other eye. The one I left behind.
It's just now letting you see Andy's room? That's amazing. So at none other time while you've been gone, have you seen Andy's room until now? Great timing for this eye to suddenly work, so that the toys that thought they were being thrown away know that they were actually being loved by Andy after all.
Andy is currently packing right now, so it's very possible that there was something blocking the eye from seeing anything, and now it's been moved.
I have over 30 accessories, and I deserve more respect.
Lotso takes off her mouth to stop her from yelling. Hilarious. But last movie and this movie showed her eyes and ears work even when detached. So why aren't these lips in his hand still bitching out Lotso?
You can very clearly see Lotso is holding her mouth shut right here.
When Buzz's factory setting was introduced to Andy's toys in the first movie, he was combative as hell. But in this movie, returning him to factory setting makes him programmable and controllable.
Now, granted, they don't show us exactly what happened, but I think the movie is meant to imply that Lotso convinced Buzz that he and the other daycare toys work for Star Command, which he would easily buy, considering he comes from a TV show with aliens, and he could just look at the other toys and think they're aliens.
Where the f*** did he get that? Woody left it outside, remember? And who at this messy-ass daycare would have noticed it and actually put it back inside? Or else this suggests someone on Lotso's evil team managed to get outside the daycare walls to grab this hat here by the rope.
I don't see why this is impossible. Need I remind you that Lotso has security toys as surveillance all across the daycare, and also a monkey that looks through cameras? And the building has been closed for a few hours, so they wouldn't need to worry about anybody noticing them.
These toys now know how to use Google Maps.
I mean, Rex was also playing a video game and switching channels on the TV in the last movie, so of course they could figure out how to work human technology.
Daisy loved us all.
Let me guess, this ends with Daisy either losing or giving away her toys, much like what happened to Jessie in Toy Story 2, only this time without a song. I mean, don't all these toys have pretty much the same stories that keep leading us to the same kind of movies?
There is one big difference between Jessie and Lotso's stories. With Jessie, she became depressed and didn't want to have another owner, fearing that they'll also abandon her. With Lotso, he took it way too personally and concluded that the only purpose for a toy's existence is to be tortured and eventually thrown away.
These parents left behind 3 toys when they put their daughter in the back seat. 3 huge, easily seen toys, marked by their daughter as her favorites, and they seem like such loving parents.
Do they, though? The movie doesn't really give you enough evidence to suggest that. I mean, I guess you could say that they gave Lotso to her for Christmas, but that could have been her grandparents for all we know.
It took forever, but we finally made it back to Daisy's.
Homeward Bound, The Incredible Toy Travels.
Jeremy makes a pop culture reference that
Cast off, unloved, unwanted.
And riding on the back of a pizza truck from the first Toy Story.
Jeremy points things out on the screen cliche.
Nothing but sand and a couple of Lincoln logs.
I don't think those were Lincoln logs.
Pixar steals the gross poop joke from DreamWorks Shrek movies.
Wait, Shrek introduced poop jokes?
There's only one way toys leave this place. Poor fella. Trash truck comes at dawn, then it's off to the dump.
So wait, can that toy not wake up like every other toy and simply get out of that trash or escape the trash truck? You know, if it were Woody, he would.
That was a train that got thrown in. How would it have gotten out? Even Woody and all the other toys, when they got thrown in, had trouble getting out, considering they almost died.
Even the playground.
Yeah, but these toys managed to get past all that other security before they stupidly tried to openly scale the wall. So either this monkey is terrible at his job, or the cautious toys trying to make their escape decided to be careless at the most crucial time.
I think the movie is meant to imply that they got past all the other security, just happened to be out of the monkey's eyesight, didn't know about it, and thus thought it would be safe to climb over the fence like this.
Wait a minute, was this always here? Or did Woody cut this out?
It was most certainly the latter.
Somehow, Toy Story 3 found room for a changing outfit montage, like we're watching Mrs. Doubtfire or Dumb and Dumber.
So, I take it this kind of montage is just automatically bad? You don't even explain what's bad about it. And I'll point out that it does serve a story purpose, being that Barbie is trying to get the information on what happened to Buzz out of Ken. I think she also saw getting to see all of Ken's outfits as a bonus.
Get the tortilla!
The tortilla, as in a tortilla you knew about before this plan started? How did you know it was in this lunchbox, carelessly left behind by a toddler anyway? Still can't believe the best idea they had was for Potato Head to plug this into a fucking tortilla, as opposed to, oh, I don't know, a molded glob of Play-Doh or something.
This is another one of those sins where you say multiple things at once, making me question what the actual sin is. Is it that the tortilla is in the lunchbox, or is it that you don't like the idea of Mr. Potato Head's parts going into a tortilla? It can't be both.
They basically rewrote all the rules of the Potato Head family to make this movie work.
How? The previous two movies, along with this movie, have established that Potato Head's parts work on their own and don't need to be attached to anything. They just simply swap the potato out with the tortilla. I don't see how this is contradicting anything.
Caution! Do not hold button for more than 5 seconds.
Bitácora espacial.
Holding the Buzz Lightyear reset button for more than 5 seconds turns him into Antonio Banderas.
Yep, that's right. Wait, what's the sin? You literally just stated a fact. You didn't explain what is wrong with this scene.
If you ever find yourself wondering how this third movie in a series is an hour and 45 minutes long, look no further than this scene here.
Yeah, I don't think anybody has ever thought that.
I'm sorry, cowboy. They broke me.
Fine, but you did not know their entire plan, or their exact up-to-the-second location, did you?
So I'm willing to buy that this phone didn't know what Woody's plan was, but let me remind you that it did explain to Woody what the best escape route was, and so obviously he would know they would be here.
The needs of the one. Oh, god damn it, the needs of the many outweigh the
So you're sitting the toys for trying to save Woody. Nope, that's the sin. I don't think I even need to explain.
How the did that happen? The dumpster door was completely closed when they started running across it. Now he's stuck in the door? Come on. And of course that's the way the Ned Beatty Bear gets Woody into the dumpster.
You know what? This is a legit good point, and it's something that's always bothered me. I don't think I've ever removed the sin before, but there has to be a first time for everything, right?
Toys have the power to lift giant TVs up. Just wanted to let you guys know that.
Okay, thanks for letting us know. Now can you explain why this is wrong?
It's not a Pixar movie unless the heroes are on some sort of giant conveyor belt of death.
Just like in the last Toy Story video, I'll point out that this whole climax set in a factory is in only 3 Pixar movies. This, Toy Story 2, and Monsters, Inc. And that is only 3 out of 26 films.
Despite Lotso being basically the devil, Woody will still feel compelled to try and save him, ultimately endangering the lives of everyone else in the process. Hashtag just let Lotso die!
Not that I necessarily disagree that the hate for Lotso is justified, but Woody is a good guy, and he doesn't think anything bad will happen if he saves him. And how is saving him endangering the lives of everyone else?
Push it! Where's your kid now, Sheriff?
And that's what you get for trusting a dude that has been nothing but a 100% asshole dick face this entire movie.
No. This is factually incorrect. Did you forget Lotso's scenes before it was revealed that he was a bad guy?
Mount Doom literal fires of hell make this children's movie dark as I have at least one niece that is scarred for life thanks to this movie.
Why is it a sin for kids' movies to be dark?
Claw Ex Machina.
So this might be the most correct you've ever gotten on labeling something a Deus Ex Machina, as it does feel like it comes out of nowhere and it does save everyone from dying, but I still wouldn't exactly call it that because the movie did show the little green men getting separated earlier and it did set up the claw when it showed them running towards one. And it's also a payoff when Mr. Potato Head saved them from falling out of the pizza plant truck in the last movie, and now they return the favor.
Also, yep, those 3 somehow separated from the main group.
Somehow? The movie literally showed you how.
You got all your pieces?
Also, how the does this large-ass claw somehow pick up every single toy in danger without a single one slipping through the— oh, it, like I really care.
It's a cartoon. Just go with it.
Sure, this romance began when he was in Spanish mode, but still, what the right? All toys should be doing it.
Nope, it was actually set up at the end of the last movie.
Ma'am, well, I just want to say you're a bright young woman with a beautiful yarn full of hair. A hair full of yarn. It's, I must go.
Well, aren't you the sweetest space toy I ever met? Andy's still packing, but he's almost done.
Jeez, how long does it take for this asshole to pack?
I've personally never been to college, but I did Google this link saying it takes pretty darn long to pack. I think he probably started packing before this movie's events, and only now he just finished.
Hey.
Andy doesn't even remotely question why the toys he knows he threw into a garbage bag and he knows his mom took to the curb are now here, neatly in a box waiting to be sent to the new kid.
He probably just assumed his mom got them back somehow.
And so, we're assholes. This ending is extremely f***ing touching. Might even make you cry. I'm just gonna remove 5 sins and be done with it. But also...
Nope, I'm adding a sin because you acknowledge this scene is amazing, removed the sins, and then added another one right after for basically no good reason. That pretty much sums up this whole video. Adding sins for no good reason.
Bitácora espacial. Me he despertado del hipersueño en un planeta extraño. Estoy rodeado por criaturas extrañas y desconozco sus intenciones. ¿Quién anda ahí? ¿Amigo o enemigo? Me debo de haber estrellado y se me ha borrado la memoria. ¿Han visto mi nave espacial?